Now we've come to the end of our eye test. Once the machine stopped moving, we take the hoop off and we compare the threads on the back. And as we look at these tensions, we can see that the majority of the tensions look pretty good, except we have a little bit of a tension issue with this gray right here, so showing too much bobbin, and this red is really, really bad. The rest of these colors look very good. This yellow essentially being an ideal example of exactly what a third, and a third would look like. But all of these look pretty acceptable with the exception of this thread here and the red thread here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the red and what we would do to correct this problem. The first thing we would do is it's showing too much bobbin, which considering the majority of these are right, that means that we don't have a bobbin issue. It's clearly a top tension issue. So we're going to loosen up on the top tension, which will relax it and let more color show at the bottom and less bobbin thread. So we'll come to the main tensioner, and with how much this adjustment was off, I'm going to loosen it up quite a bit. I'm going to take my pre-tensioner, I'm going to loosen that a fair amount, and I'm going to take my upper pre-tensioner and I'm going to loosen that a fair amount as well. We have to remember that the top pre-tensioner on the thread rack here makes up approximately a third of the tension. The pre-tensioner here on the top of the head makes up approximately a third of the tension, and the tension device right here makes up approximately 1/3 of the tension. So now what we'll do is we will re-hoop a couple pieces of backing material and we will run the test again. However, this time we are going to change the needles so that it just shows the colors that we had a problem with. Again, for this example, we're going to look at the red. Red is needle number 2, so I'm going to go into needles, and instead of sewing 15 different colors, I'm just going to sew needle number 2 up to 15 times. Hopefully I won't have to do it 15 times, and after each pass, I'm going to simply pull the hoop off and take a look at the back to see if my correction was sufficient. Let's take a look. Okay, that eye is finished, so I'm going to trim it. I'm going to pull it off the machine, and I'm going to look at the back again. And look at that. We happen to have made the correction. It looks approximately a third. Maybe the bobbin could be a little bit wider, so I'm going to give just a little additional tension, just a little tweak. But overall, that is a perfectly acceptable tension, and now we are done with this test and we're ready to operate our embroidery machine.